I um, I'm trying out something new. Um, trying to. This is bad, man. I should have used. I should have used my cell phone like I usually do. The quality here is terrible. Um, but we're here now. So let me proceed with it. Hopefully, you can hear me. I'm going to go through my my reaction basically for the whole card, UFC 296. I don't know if I'm actually visible. I don't know how the quality is because this looks horrible on my side. But nonetheless, let me proceed. Bude versus Gaziev. Um, Gaziev looked incredible. I actually was surprised because it looked like the actual UFC fighter as opposed to Bude. Bude looked like he was the one who was debuting. So yeah, oh, this quality is this is bad. I should have never used the laptop. But let me proceed. Gaziev looked like the better fighter. He looked incredible. The speed, the accuracy, the power. He was just doing whatever he wanted with Bude. Um, and it was quite impressive. My subscribers and I picked, what do you call it? We picked um, Gaziev, yes. On to the next one. I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker than normal because this quality, this was like a bad decision to actually go live with a laptop. But what can I say? I have to finish this out because I committed to it. Philly versus Almeida. Those Almeida leg kicks were incredibly painful. They looked painful. I think if it went past the second round, I think Almeida would have probably done some real damage to it. Um, I think I think that was an incredible knockout. I think decent performance. I don't think there was anything impressive, in particular because up until the knockout, the fight was fairly evenly matched. So I wouldn't say it was an incredible performance, but it was a good knockout. My subscribers and I picked Philly to win. On to the next one, Ulanbekov versus Durden. On the feet, I feel like on the feet they were evenly matched, but on the ground I feel like um, Ulanbekov was obviously the better fighter. Um, what's happening? Ulanbekov was the better fighter. I promise I'll never do this with a laptop ever again until I get like a proper quality laptop. But yeah, on the feed, I think they were evenly matched on the ground. Like Ulanbekov just dominated. I honestly wasn't aware that he was training out of AKA. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked against him. But nonetheless, it was an incredible performance. Kudos to him. He did really well. Um, my subscribers went with Ulanbekov. I went with the Durden. I don't regret the decision, but yeah, it is what it is. O'Neill versus Lipsky. Um, this was a little bit frustrating because O'Neill was the ranked fighter, Lipsky was not. But Lipsky looked like she was the one who was ranked, and O'Neill didn't look like a ranked fighter. So that's one of the most frustrating things about women's MMA. It's kind of like the fight that was taking place about a week ago, where like women's MMA, especially females, have this thing of performing really well in one fight and then looking like they shouldn't even be in the UFC in the next one. Um, but nonetheless, cool. That's credit to Lipsky. She looked very improved. Um, I mean, she looked incredible. So, like, there's nothing much to say about that. My subscribers and I got this one wrong. On to the next one. Uh, Garbrandt versus Kelleher. Another one of those who I felt like would go to a decision because I mean Garbrandt is not has not been performing really well in his past few fights. He just got a win in his last fight and it was a decision. But I guess it gave him confidence. It gave him an adrenaline boost because he looked a bit more aggressive than usual. Um, so yeah, I guess I guess it worked for him because he got a knockout. I don't know in after how long, but I don't feel like the Davison call out is good. Obviously, because both of them were previous champions, but I feel like Davison should be getting someone who is highly ranked. But I would have liked to see him against Piotr Jan or something like that. My apologies if I got the name wrong. Um, I would have liked to see him against Jan, but unfortunately, it seems like Jan is booked to fight Song and Dong. So I don't know who they are going to match up Font with. I mean, not Font, Davison. Maybe he can fight Garbrandt, but I honestly would like to see um, Davison chase the belt because he's getting older and the ability to fight at a high level will start to decrease as he surpasses 35. So I would like to get see him chase the belt the next year and get maybe the shot because he is probably 2 fights away from fighting for the belt. Um, but on on a what is happening? My subscribers and I picked Garbrandt to win this particular fight. On to the next one, Aldana versus Rosa. Um, I honestly didn't think, or rather, this fight didn't look like it would be a good fight from the beginning because of how it started. Like it looked like it was going to be a typical women's MMA, but it turned out to be one of the most incredible fights we've actually ever seen. So it was incredibly impressive. Yeah, um, it turned out to be probably one of the best MMA fights this year, or rather, female MMA fights this year. I can't think of any fight that was better than this. Even the Grasso versus Shevchenko 2 fight did not even come close to this one. It was an incredible performance. This is the person that we were hoping we would see against Amanda Nunes. But nonetheless, we're glad that she's finally come to the fore. Um, it's weird to hear that they train to absorb the leg kicks as opposed to avoid them. It's a crazy strategy to go into a fight to prepare to actually get kicked. It doesn't really make sense to me, but hey, what can I say? My subscribers and I picked what do you call it, Aldana. I forgot to actually mention that on the previous 2 fights, I think we my subscribers and I were wrong because we picked O'Neill and obviously Lipsky won. Um, on to the next one. Manifield versus Jacoby. I honestly expected a more dominant performance from Jacoby. Not Jacoby from Manifield, but nonetheless, Manifield won. I think Jacoby looked impressive, but nonetheless, another loss for Factory X. Like I've been saying, two two 2 weeks in a row now. Another loss. Obviously, what do you call him? But I'll get to him. But another loss for Factory X. My subscribers and I picked Manifield. Emmett versus Mitchell. Yeah, that looked like an incredibly brutal knockout. I honestly thought he would die. Like I thought Mitchell was going to pass away. The way he was like reacting to the knockout, like it was very scary. Um, yeah, I'll never do live. I'll never go live with a laptop ever again. The quality is not good. Um, On to the next one. Okay, my subscribers and I picked Mitchell because I felt like, I don't know my subscribers' reasoning, but I felt like the short notice would favor him because of the wrestling. And obviously, Yair actually submitted Ahmed, um, and Yair is not a grappler. So I think Bryce made the mistake of being willing to engage on the feet with Ahmed instead of aggressively trying to shoot. But, I guess you can have the skills, but if you don't have the correct strategy or the people to help you with your strategy, then this is what the outcome will be. We were wrong on that one. On to the next one, Ferguson versus Pimblet. Another one we were wrong on. I think if Ferguson had a decent takedown defense, I think he would have won this fight, especially in the final rounds because Paddy was tired. Which brings me back to, I don't feel like Petty is as good as people claim he is. I mean, he's a decent fighter, but I don't think he's an incredible fighter. Um, so yeah, it was disappointing to see that. I think YouTube has a problem because on Teams the quality is incredible, but on YouTube it looks like I'm using a phone from 1990 something. I, okay, but nonetheless, live and learn, I guess. Yeah, my subscribers and I picked Tony Ferguson. But yeah, despite the fact that Tony lost, I still don't think Paddy Pimblett is going to go anywhere beyond the top 10. And that's me being generous. Unless he somehow improves. But if that's what he calls dominant against a 40-year-old who's been on a six-fight win streak, losing streak, I mean, that looked horrible. Thompson versus Rachmanov. I love Rachmanov, right? But if there are people who've been saying like Chimaev would lose to Rachmanov after that performance, I don't think so. Chimaev would probably dominate him. Um, but nonetheless, I think Rachmanov performed really well. I think it was weird how he started that particular fight. He seemed a bit too scared of what was coming his way, or probably his whole camp was concentrated on grappling. I don't know the reasoning behind that, but nonetheless, he got the finish, so that's a win for him. My subscribers and I picked Rachmanov to win. Um, Pantoja versus Royval. Yeah, this is the another Factory X fighter that lost. So this is the second time, like last week, Smith and Gutierrez lost. They are Factory X fighters. This week, it's Royval versus Jacoby. I'm not hating on Factory X. I'm just saying, if your fighters consistently keep losing, then the problem might not be the fighters. But nonetheless, I think it was an incredible fight. I feel like Pantoja needs to work on his gas because he's going to have a problem in the future if that's how he gets to the championship rounds. But nonetheless, an incredible performance. When you get to championship fights, you can actually see them. You can see the skill level change, or maybe it's because it was flyweight, so the skill level obviously has to be high because you can't rely on power, even though there's not a power in that division, but you have to largely rely on skill. So it was incredible to see. It was an incredible fight, but yeah, Pantoja needs to work on his cardio. Royval, I think, even though I like to um, say speak negatively, it's not. I don't like, but it's something I do because obviously, if you're not producing results, then you have to point it out. But I think Royval looked decent. I think he looked good. If he had better striking, because I felt like there were openings for him to actually maybe finish Pantoja in the striking before he even got dominated on the ground, or the movements that he had on the feet, and maybe improve your takedown defense. I think you'll be in a better position to actually perform better in the future. Um, the last fight, Edwards versus Covington. Um, I was actually working on something for today. I think it's going to be delayed, but it's fine. I'll post it a bit later on. The laptop just like turned off while I was busy rendering the video, but yeah, that's why I'm a bit defeated. Obviously, the quality of the stream is is not helping. It's crazy to think that like a cell phone can actually look better than a laptop. The time that we live in, but nonetheless, I think anyone who thought Kobe would win, I don't know what you were thinking because you clearly have not been paying attention. Kobe, the last time Kobe beat someone who had a win was in 2018. We are in 2023 now. The last time Kobe beat anyone who was under 35 was, I think, beyond even 2018. I don't know. I can't remember quite clearly. So it's been years. Kobe has not beaten anyone in the top 15 currently. Kobe has been refusing and ducking fights, and now I see why. Because if you compare what Usman had to deal with in the first round with Chimaev, and you compare and you put Kobe into that fight, Chimaev would have finished him in the first round. And it makes sense why he was avoiding Chimaev and he was busy doing interviews claiming that, oh my God, I was accepting every fight. We know you were not accepting every fight. We know that Dana actually likes you, so that's the only reason you got the shot because you didn't actually deserve it, and your performance showed it. Leon dominated him on the feet and on the ground. He only managed to get the top position because Leon was just being reckless, and still, even when he had top position, he couldn't do anything with it. So I've always said Kobe is horrible, and I'm glad everyone can see it now. Three title shots, three losses, very bad. Obviously, my subscribers and I picked Edwards. Even in the previous fight, we picked Pantoja. So, all in all, there were 12 fights on this card. My subscribers got, I think, three wrong. Yeah. And then I got four. So, my subscribers got nine correct out of 12, and I got eight out of 12 correct. Not bad, but could be better. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the horrible quality. This will probably be my last stream for the year, unless I don't know, I come up with an idea. I need to make plans to improve this because this is not good. Um, so yeah, this will be my last stream until next year, but it's largely because of the amount of content that I'm busy working on for the channel. Um, so I had to just get this out of the way and just focus on making sure that I produce content, proper content. Yeah, I'm not happy with this quality. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Even those that came after, I appreciate you. See you next year or in the comment section. I'm going to be uploading every single day as much as possible this whole December. Just that the content I'm creating is a lot, it requires a lot of energy and time. So it's taking me a little bit of time to actually finish creating that content, but just keep looking at the channel, you'll see. Thank you for watching. Deuces.